I know they probably have people that do this every once in a while, but sometimes it just is so much. In this life, we are to become heaven so that God might find a home here. Oh yeah, here we are at the, this is above the sheep meadow, and this is the Nell Singer lilac bed. Some years ago, she put in all these lilacs for maybe in the 70s to just help everybody's attitude about everything. Look over, see that big tall tree up there? That's a white Syringa ivory silk. It's got a beautiful fragrance. It's like incredible. And it comes out after the regular lilacs, and it's more of a tree kind of a thing, but it's beautiful. The white lilacs are great. Syringa nocturne, Canada, Syringa petula. And there's little pathways walking through here. And that's the edge of, sheep meadow here. I always wonder why they don't clip this branch. It's so low, but they have to drive, they can't mow underneath it, but it's beautiful. This is the only elm in here. The rest of them are oaks. Oak Grove, and this is a big American elm. Right. Oh, here's cuckleburrs. That's like at the farm and get stuck on your socks and everything. This is a wonderful cliff here. I love this cliff. Sometimes you can really isolate it, and it's really quiet here because of how it is so crazy in its way. I grew up, climbing trees. I love climbing trees, always be in trees. And decades ago, I'd come to the Central Park and climb a tree just for fun, Now there's not that many trees to climb. On the top of this cliff here, a really gigantic mulberry tree, like 200 years old. It was huge, stretched out all the way across the walkway. It was really tall and this big around and stuff. So I'd sometimes climb up on that tree. It was sort of like right in here. Here's where the base of it was, so it stretched out all that. So you could just like walk up the actual trunk of the tree. And so I'm sitting up there having a great time, just like looking out, and it was summer day, and sitting on the mulberry tree. And then pretty soon went, over there, down the hill, there comes Tommy Tune. A couple of years before that, I had spent some time with him with Pete Masterson discussing that show, the best little ... in Texas. So anyway, I tracked him down. He was coming up that little walkway down there. So I just ran over here, tacking him on this rock. See, this is the rock. Don't you need any little Aggies? He goes, well, yeah, maybe we do. Go, well, yeah. And so I have you, the stage manager call you and set up an audition, see if you can do the dance. And so that's what happened. So here was part of that part. A long time ago when I heard that program about the plastics not ever dissolving in the ocean, there was a program about all the plastics make gigantic islands that will never, ever in 750 years will not disintegrate. They're just permanent parts of our planet, the plastic. So I'm just like, and plastic bags. So I was inspired way before this Rona V thing happened to see a bag hanging in a tree. I'll pull it down and find a container, contain it. I'm not ever happy to see knives and forks and pieces of broken glass, bottles, What? And sometimes I'm at a place and I'm picking up stuff, and to myself I go, this is not the dump. This is not the garbage. This is a park. Nobody hears me, but I think the people that leave the stuff aren't aware that it's all tidy. I about come here about every time I come to the park, see, getting all the little details, the broken glass, and I saw these two little ladies. One was older than the other, and they came by, and the oldest one said, "What are you finding?" And I said, "Oh, I'm not finding anything. I'm just picking up broken pieces of glass." And she said, "Oh, I thought you were finding a certain seed or something, you know." I said, "Well, no, I'm just cleaning up broken pieces of glass and stuff that, you know, make it dangerous." And she was happy, and she said, "Well, Central Park is glad to have you." I just don't see why it's so funny that beer drinking people like have to throw their beer cans into the rose bushes as if they're going to come back and get them another day. I don't think so. It's really a briar patch. So I've got my really, you know, rugged shoes on so I can, oh, look, I ripped my bag already. Huh. Now, if they had that much money to come out here to drink Heinekens, you think they could take the bottles away, don't you? I don't know. It is a full one. Sick of drinking it. All right. Not that I don't understand. It's fun to drink beer, but here we are at the peace sign area in the rain. So I'm going to try to, oh, here's my stick. Good. After the rain, it gets a lot of mud on it, but hey, people step on it because they don't know what it is. So we'll just try to, you know, carve it out again. I mean, I'm always saying, you know, it's a park, people. And there's, look at right over there, there's some garbage cans that you could put it in. You don't have to just like leave it. But then I try to edit myself and don't be so angry. Sisyphus, the more you do, the more there is to do, and you're never done. Never done. Here's a boy up there, like maybe 10 years old, and he had a hockey stick. And he didn't talk very much. He was kind of very quiet kid. And he came up to me and he said, after he put something in my bag, he goes, "You are what the world should be." So here's somebody's, you know, bedding. I guess it's their bedroom. So we'll leave it and come back this way and go the other direction. Just not enough room for everything. Here comes a man with a sack of stuff, and then there's like 6 or 7 little kids with him. So he was running around putting big Easter eggs in through the forsythia. It was like I had it all cleaned up so he could have an Easter egg hunt. It made me feel so, I was so happy about that. It was like really a funny thing. I mean, big Easter eggs like that must have something inside them, not those little plastic ones. And it was just all over here. They were running, and then he said, "Come on, you kids." So all the kids were running around in here and getting all the Easter eggs. Then shall all the trees of the wood shout for joy before the Lord when he comes to judge the earth. Maybe I've told you this already about this bottle cap. See what it says on there? Corona Extra. So here's somebody's keys. In another part of the park one day, I was like on this rock and just like saying my prayers or something, and here comes a woodchuck. It wasn't a raccoon, it was a woodchuck. Big round, green kind of teeth, and it was like walking around just really slowly, weirdly. And I was saying, that is a woodchuck. What the hell? I never seen that kind of a creature out here before. And then there's this woman sitting on a rock a little ways away from me with her dog off the leash. And so here comes this dog running to charge on this woodchuck. And so I'm going, I got to get down there, protect that woodchuck. So here I am between the woodchuck and the dog, like, you know, running around a circle. I go, hey, get, you know, I go, lady, get your dog, get the leash on that dog, come on. You know, so she didn't even care. She was sitting up there for a long time. He was like fighting off the woodchuck, get the dog away, you know, kicking the dog, and the woodchuck was, like, it was really scary. It was like, what? You know, but the woodchuck was like on my side, because like, I'm glad you're helping that, get that dog away from me. So finally the woman came back with her leash. I said, lady, you got to keep the leash on the dogs. Have you heard that rule? And she was like, nothing, you know, didn't faze her. And the woodchuck just looked around. I just like walked away back into the woods somewhere. I thought it was like, wow, that was quite a adventure story. I'll be glad when masks are done, because there's so many masks to pick up too, just constantly. And of course, here's another thing. Those wonderful dog people, you know, that don't think that's where they're supposed to put their dog shit. All right. Got my handy dandy little, you know, sanitizing. Do a little bit of that. It's always amazing to think that there's always so much stuff out here. Why throw their cans and stuff into the brambles? This is like rose bed or something, wild roses that like rose hips on them, but that's just tangled with thorns. It's really brutal, and I got my special gloves here. So there's even a black bag that's left out here, so I'm gonna take that. Every time I came to the park without any other thing to really do that day, I would be hours, find a container, contain it. I've cleaned this one up before a couple times too, but it just seems like you never get it quite done. It's like the more you do, the more there is to do. Aha, see? You know, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, but blind, but now I see. The Lord has promised good to me, His word my hope secures. He will my shield and portion be as long as life endures. To many dangers, toils, and snares I have already come. His grace that brought me safe this far, and grace will lead me when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. We've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. We've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. All right. 2 big bags, look at that. Beautiful. I love it. All right.